Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. In this video, let's understand the basics of matrices and determinants. जैसा कि मैं आपको अपने previous video में बता चुकी हूँ कि business mathematics एक application based paper है. So here in this paper we have to see the applications of various mathematical tools in solving the business and economics and finance problems. So before coming on to the application portion of matrices and determinants, we need to understand the basics of it. So in this video, let's understand the basics. To understand the basics of matrices and determinant, we need to first understand what do we mean by a matrix. A matrix is basically an arrangement of numbers into rows and columns. When we are saying arrangement of numbers into rows and columns, so if I write 5, 4, 7, 3, so this is the arrangement of numbers into rows and columns. So this cannot be called as a matrix until and unless we enclose this arrangement by brackets. So only then it will be called as a matrix. This is the definition of a matrix, which is a matrix is an arrangement of numbers into rows and columns, and that should be enclosed by brackets. Only then it will be called as a matrix. A matrix generally is denoted by capital letters. So we denote it with capital letters like A, matrix B, matrix C, and so on. Now the individual entries, that is these numbers which are forming the matrix, are called as, that is 1, this 3, or any other number which is forming this matrix is called as entries or entry, or also called as elements of this matrix. So these are called as entries or elements of the matrix. Now talking about the general representation of a matrix, this is how we generally represent a matrix. So A11, A12, A13 जो आपको नज़र आ रहे हैं, these are the elements and the numbers written in the subscript, that is 1 in case of first element, tells us about the position of this element in the matrix. So A11, it is telling us that this element is in the first row and in the first column. If we take another element which is A32, so A32 telling us that this is the element which is in the third row and in the second column. So the numbers in the subscript tells us about the position of that element in the matrix. Now talking about the order of a matrix, the order of a matrix basically tells us about how many number of rows and columns will be there in a particular matrix, and order of a matrix is always written as number of rows into the number of columns. Say the number of rows are m and the number of columns be n. So इस केस में आपको ऑर्डर हमेशा इसी फॉर्म में लिखना होगा, दैट यू हैव टू फर्स्ट राइट द नंबर ऑफ रोज और उसके बाद आपको लिखना होगा नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स को. नाउ इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द ऑर्डर ऑफ द मैट्रिक्स फर्स्ट दैट आई हैव टेकन in the example, so in this matrix there are 3 rows, so 3, first we have to write down the number of rows and then number of columns. So how many number of columns are there? 3 into 4. So the order of this matrix is 3 by 4. If we talk about the general representation, we always write it as m into n. So if I say that the order of this representation, that is general representation of matrix, is m into n, so I have to extend it, that is there are m number of rows and n number of columns. So this matrix can be extended for n number of columns and m number of rows, so it will become mn. So now that is the order of a matrix, m into n, and this is how we have to write the order of any matrix. Now the next topic is types of matrices. we have different types of matrices. So let's see what are the different types of matrices that are there. The first one is the row matrix. A row matrix is a matrix where there is only a single row. So we may have any number of columns in that matrix, but there should be single row to call that matrix as a row matrix. For example, if I take matrix A, then it should have just a single row, 4 7 5 2 1 0. So 4 7 5 2 0, as you can see that there are 5 columns, but there is only a single row. That will be called as a row matrix. The next type of matrix is a column matrix. From its name, that is a column matrix, again means the same जैसा कि आपका रो मैट्रिक्स में था. A matrix that contains only a single column is called as a column matrix. So example के लिए, if I have matrix B, then it will contain just a single column and we can have any number of rows in this matrix. So this is the example of a column matrix. Now the third type of matrix that we have is a null matrix. A null matrix is also called as a zero matrix. A null or a zero matrix is a matrix where all the elements of that matrix are equals to 0. So all elements of that matrix should be 0. Only then that matrix will be called as a null matrix. Or we can have another matrix, that is, or we can have a matrix so irrespective of the order of the matrix, we can have a null matrix. So all the elements should be 0 in case of a null or zero matrix. After that we have square matrix. From its name, that is square, it means a square is formed when we have equal number of rows and columns in the matrix. So equal number of rows, that is the value of m as well as the value of n, should be equal. Only that then that matrix will be called as a square matrix. So example of this square matrix is the order of this matrix is 2 by 2. We can have another matrix which is this matrix. So this is a matrix where order is 3 by 3. So as you can see in the two examples, both these matrices are having equal number of rows and equal number of columns. So as you can see, D may we have 2 rows and 2 columns in matrix. I can denote it as E matrix. So we have 3 rows and 3 columns. So it is called as a square matrix. Diagonal matrix will be a square matrix, and the elements other than the elements in the main diagonal will all be equals to 0. So first of all we need to understand what is the main diagonal of a square matrix. So I am taking the example of a square matrix for this. If A is a square matrix, then the elements that appears in the same row and same column are called as the elements of the main diagonal. It means the elements A11, A12, A13, A22, sorry, A33. It means the elements that appear in the same row, first column, second column, and third column will be called as the elements of main diagonal. So these are the elements which are appearing in the same row and same column, 4, 2 and 5, and these are the elements of main diagonal, or we can say these are forming your main diagonal. So this is the main diagonal. Now coming on to the example of a diagonal matrix. Example of this diagonal matrix is, it is a square matrix. So let's B be a diagonal matrix. The elements in the main diagonal should be non-zero, or any one or two elements can be equals to 0 also, but the elements other than the elements in the main diagonal should all be equals to 0. So here the focus should be the elements that appear outside this main diagonal. So as you can see, यहाँ पे जो भी main diagonal से बाहर के elements हैं, और elements are 0, or I can take another example. That example is this example, 4, 0 and 5. If I write it like this, this is also the example of a main diagonal. As you can see in this case also, as one of the main diagonal element is 0 and rest of the elements other than the elements in the main diagonal are obviously equals to 0. In that case also we can call it as the diagonal matrix. It means a diagonal matrix is a matrix where the focus should be on these elements. Out of these three elements in the main diagonal, any two element can be equals to 0. Even then it will be called as a diagonal matrix. But not all the elements should be equals to 0. अगर सारे के सारे elements 0 हो जाएंगे, then this matrix will not remain as a diagonal matrix. It will be called as a null or zero matrix, क्योंकि सारे elements 0 के equal हो जाएंगे in that situation. So it will not remain as a diagonal matrix. The next type of matrix is a scalar matrix. Is a triangular matrix first, and after that we'll take up the scalar matrix. In case of triangular matrix can be of two types. We can have upper triangular matrix and we can have a lower triangular matrix. So what is the difference and how do we identify lower triangular from the upper triangular matrix? In case of a upper triangular matrix, where all the elements below the main diagonal are 0, and in case of lower triangular, all the elements above the main diagonal are 0. So matrix D and matrix E are the examples of upper triangular and the lower triangular. As you can see, the elements below the main diagonal are 0 in case of upper triangular, and in case of a lower triangular, the elements above the main diagonal are all equals to 0. That is the case of a lower triangular matrix. The next type of matrix is a scalar matrix. A scalar matrix is a diagonal matrix where all elements in the main diagonal are same. So in the main diagonal, the elements should be equal or should be same. Example of this scalar matrix is matrix F, and it is a diagonal matrix. As I told you, it means all the elements other than the elements in the main diagonal should be equals to 0. and the elements in the main diagonal should be equal or should be same. So here we have the example of a scalar matrix. So this is the example of a scalar matrix where elements in the main diagonal are equal or same. And the last type of matrix is the identity matrix. Identity matrix is a matrix. It is a square matrix and it's also a scalar matrix as well as a diagonal matrix. So identity matrix is a matrix where all the elements in the main diagonal are 1 and rest of the elements are 0. So this is the example of the identity matrix. As you can see in this case, this is having a feature. This is a square matrix. So first of all, it's a square matrix. The next one is it's the diagonal matrix. It means all the elements other than the main diagonal are 0, and it's also having the feature that it is a scalar matrix. So identity matrix is most of the frequently used matrix and it contains the features of all these three types of matrices. It's a square matrix, diagonal as well as a scalar matrix. The next topic is equality of two matrices. There are certain conditions that needs to be satisfied by the matrices if you want to equate them. Let's see what are these conditions. Two matrices A and B are said to be equal if, point number 1, they are of the same order, and point number 2 is each element of A is equal to the corresponding element of matrix B. Only then the two matrices will be said equal or can be equated. Now, taking the example of these matrices, matrix A, matrix B and matrix C. In case of matrix A and matrix B, if I want to equate the two matrices, that is A is equals to matrix B. Now, evaluating the conditions whether these are satisfied in case of this A is equals to B, first condition is that A and B should be of same order. So as we can see that matrix A is of 3 by 3 order and matrix B is of also 3 by 3 order. So the first condition is satisfied in this case. The next condition says that elements of matrix A elements are 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 2, 8, 9 and 0. The corresponding element, that is the first element, should be same in the second matrix first element. So 4 is equals to 4. Let's write it here. 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 2, 8, 9 and 0. And in case of matrix B, 6, 7, 2, 8, 9, 0. If you see it carefully, though the order, that is the first condition, is satisfied, matrix A is of 3 by 3 order, matrix B is also of 3 by 3 order, but the second condition in this case is not satisfied. So it is not possible to equate the two matrices in this situation, because as you just carefully evaluate this element is 5 but this element is 3. Rest of the elements are, corresponding elements are equal but or are same, but this 5 is not equals to 3. So these two matrices cannot be equated. If we take the example of matrix A, can we equate matrix A with matrix C? It is not at all possible to equate them, because in case of matrix A and in case of matrix C, the order of matrix A is 3 by 3 and the order of matrix C is 2 by 3. So the very first condition is not satisfied by these two matrices. So we cannot equate A with matrix C. So these are the two conditions that needs to be satisfied if you want to call two matrices as equal. The next topic is algebra. The next topic is algebra of matrices. Now in case of algebra of matrices, we will see how various mathematical operations can be applied on matrices. So algebra of matrices, in this topic we will see addition and subtraction of matrices, the multiplication of a matrix by a scalar, and multiplication of two matrices. So the very first topic is addition or subtraction of matrices. So addition or subtraction of matrices. If we want to add or subtract two matrices, then the two matrices should be of the same order. Only then we can add or subtract the two matrices. For example, I have matrix A and matrix B in front of me. So in case of matrix A and matrix B, as this matrix is of 2 by 2 order and matrix B is also of 2 by 2 order, then if we want to find out the addition of the two matrices, that is A plus matrix B, A plus B can be calculated, and it will simply be the addition of the two matrices, that is we have to add the corresponding elements of the two matrices 5, 8, 7 and 2, and the result, that is A plus B, the new matrix will be of the same order, a 2 by 2 order matrix. So how do we have to add it or subtract? Addition के लिए you have to 2 plus the corresponding element is 5, so 2 plus 5 is 7. The next one is 4 and the corresponding element in matrix B is 8. So 4 plus 8, 12. The next one is 3 and the corresponding element is 7, which is equals to 10. 5, 2, that is 7. So this is how we can calculate the addition of the two matrices, or we can add the two matrices, and the order of the resulting matrix after addition or subtraction remains the same. The next topic is multiplication of a matrix by a scalar. So if I have matrix A and if I am interested to find out 3 into A, in this case it will be calculated, that is when a matrix is multiplied by a real or complex number, which is 3 in this case, then that 3 is called as a scalar. So in this case this 3 is a scalar. And how we can multiply? To multiply a matrix by a scalar, you have to just simply multiply each and every element of that matrix by this scalar. So if you have to multiply this, this will be equals to multiply 3 with 4, 12, 3 into 3 is 9, 7 into 3 is 21, 0 into 3 is 0, 15 and 6. So this is how you can multiply a matrix by a scalar. Now in algebra of matrices, how we can multiply the two matrices? Let's see. To multiply the two matrices, we need to first of all check the existence of the product of the two matrices. It means whether the product or the multiplication of the two matrices exist or not, that we have to check. And how can we check that? For that we have to check this, that is if you want to find out the multiplication of the two matrices, that is multiplication of matrix A with matrix B, it will exist, this product will exist only if the number of columns of matrix A, that is the first matrix in this multiplication or in this product, should be equals to the number of rows of matrix B, that is the second matrix. So this rule should be satisfied if you want to multiply the two matrices. For example, if I have matrix A and the order of this matrix A is m into n, and if I have matrix B and the order of this matrix should be, if you want to find out A into B, should be equals to n into P. It means here this m is representing the number of rows and n is number of columns. In the next matrix, n is the number of rows and P is the number of columns. So the number of columns of the first matrix, that is A, and the number of rows of the second matrix should be same. And when you multiply the two matrices, that is A with B, then the resulting matrix, that is the new matrix AB matrix, should be of order m into P. So your matrix, the new matrix after multiplication that we will get, will be of this order. And in the same case, if we want to find out B into A, now we will not be able to find out B into A, because in this case first matrix is matrix B and the number of columns of matrix 1 is P, should be equals to the number of rows of the second matrix. So second matrix now is A and the number of rows of the second matrix is n. So as the number of rows and the number of columns, or we can see it here like this, matrix B is n into P and matrix A is m into n. As you can see, these two are not equal, so ये दोनों same नहीं है, then we cannot multiply, so we will not be able to find out B into A in this situation. Now I am taking the example for the multiplication of the two matrices. Let's see with the help of this example how we can multiply the two matrices. So matrix A, matrix B and matrix C are the three matrices. Now one by one we'll take the multiplication, or we'll find out the multiplication. If we have to find out A into B, that is, if I want to multiply matrix A with matrix B, is it possible to multiply this? 2, 7, 6, 5, 4. This is my first matrix and the order of this matrix is 2 by 3, and the second matrix is matrix B and the order of this matrix is 3 by 2, and we know we can multiply the two matrices only if the number of columns of the first matrix should be equals to the number of rows of the second matrix. Only then the product will be possible. So we can easily find out the A into B, and in this case the matrix, that is after multiplication, the resulting matrix will be of order 2 by 3. So this will be the resulting matrix, and in this case we know that there will be 4 elements in this matrix. Now how can we get the values for these elements? Let's see. We are finding out A into B. The first element is A11, so we have to take the first row of the first matrix, that is this first row, and multiply with the first column of the second matrix. So 4 into 4 plus, take the second element of the first row, 2 into 6 plus 7 into 5. If we add all of them, we'll get the first element, which is A11. Taking the second element A12, which is first row of the first matrix and second column of the second matrix. So this is 4 into 3, multiply with the corresponding element, plus 2 into 7 plus 7 into 2. We will get, if we add these three, we'll get A12 element. Next element is A21. A21 is second row and the first column. Second row of first matrix and second column, first column of the second matrix. Multiply the corresponding elements. 6 into 4 plus 5 into 6 plus 4 into 5. And in the same manner, we'll calculate A22, that is second row multiplied with the second column. So 6 into 3 plus 5 into 7 plus 4 into 2. If we add all of them, we'll get the elements of matrix A, B, which will be of order 2 by 2. And these elements will be 63, 40, 74 and 61. Now, taking the next multiplication, whether it is possible to calculate B into A. In case of B into A, my first matrix now is matrix B, which is 4, 3, 6, 7, 5, 2. And this matrix is of order 3 by 2. And now my first matrix is a matrix of order 2 by 3. Now, is multiplication possible? Yes, in this case also we can find out B into A, because the number of columns of the first matrix, which is 2, is equals to the number of rows of the second matrix. And in this case, the resulting matrix will be of order 3 by 3. And in the same manner you can calculate the elements of this B into A matrix, which will be a matrix of order 3 into 3. I am writing the elements 34, 23. The next one is 40. The next will be A21, that is second row and first column. When you multiply it like this and add the product, you will get 66. Then second row, second column. Multiply the corresponding element and add, we get 47. Second row, third column. Adding them, we'll get 60. Then third row, first column, when multiplied, and the summation of the two will give me 32. The next one is 20, and the last one is A33, which is third row and third column. And if you multiply the corresponding elements of the third row with the corresponding elements of the third column of second matrix, we'll get 43. So these will be the elements of the new matrix after multiplication, which is B into A matrix. Now, taking the example of matrix A and matrix C, that is multiplication of matrix A and C. Let's see, is it possible? In case of multiplication, you first need to check whether the multiplication between the two matrices will exist or not. The second matrix is matrix C, which is of order, here this matrix is of order 2 by 3, this matrix is of order 3 by 1. Now if I find out A into C is also possible to calculate, and because the number of rows and the number of columns are same, the number of rows of first matrix, number of columns of the second matrix are same, and the order of the resulting matrix will be a matrix of order 2 by 1, and there will be two elements in this matrix. The first element is A11 and the next element will be A21. So how do we get this? A11, that is first row multiplied with the first column. So first row, 4 into 4 is 16 plus 2 into 1 is 2. 7 into 0 is 0. So 16 plus 2 is 18. And similarly the second element is A21, which is second row of the first matrix. multiplied with the first column of the second matrix. 6 into 4 is 24, plus 5 into 1 is 5, and 4 into 0 is 0. So 24 plus 5 is 29. So A into C can be calculated like this. Now let's see the last one, which is C into A. Can we calculate C into A? 4, 1 and 0. That is my first matrix. Now the second matrix is, the first matrix is of order 3 by 1. The second matrix is of order 2 by 3. Now as you can see in this matrix, the number of columns of the first matrix are not equals to the number of rows of the second matrix. So CA does not exist. So C into A does not exist in that case, and we will not be able to calculate C into A. So it is possible to calculate A into C in this case, but C into A is not possible. And this is how we have to multiply the two matrices. And this is very important topic, and it is very much used in the application portion, that is in application of matrices and determinants. So this was all about algebra of matrices. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope it would be useful for you.